Fair enough. Can everybody hear me in the back okay? Not really? Sorry, I don't have a very high voice. I wasn't gifted with that. Anyway, my name is Lee Eisenheim. I'm with Coulter Capital, and this is Michael Pryor. He's also with Coulter Capital, and this is Al Cunningham. He's with PCS, our planner. Just wanted to get in front of you folks tonight. We have obviously development, new developments always can be a sore subject, especially as you've lived in a neighborhood for a while, grown accustomed to the way things are. So we want to present to you a little bit of a unique idea we have. Obviously, we're here more for you guys than to kind of convince you of what our project is. We really want to get the feedback. Our company, we're based in Denver, but we do projects all across the country. To be flat out honest with you, we like to be a partner in the community. If we feel as if that's not going to be a good relationship for our neighbors and for the community itself, we just usually just move on to another project that it makes more sense, because at the end of the day, we want ourselves to be proud of the project, and we want our neighbors to be proud of the project. So again, we take a different approach to it. We don't try to politically maneuver and things like that. If it's a good, strong path for everybody in the room, then we feel like it's a good relationship. If not, obviously we can go different areas. But long story short, Al's going to give you a quick presentation of what we're looking at, and after that, it's really just we're here for you guys, and we'll be here as long as you need for questions and answers, and take some notes, and see if it's something we can incorporate and go from there.
Is Walton Group out?
Walton still owns the property, so to give you a little bit of history on it, Walton is a large national real estate holding group. I've worked with Walton for a while. They do things a little different than us, not negatively, they're just different. And they have a little stronger approach to development. So unfortunately, at some point, whether it's a year, 10 years, 20 years, they're gonna push real hard to get this developed. We've worked with Walton in other areas, and same situation as this. We wanna work with the community and go from there. So, Al's going to give you a breakdown. Any quick questions before we start? Go ahead, sir.
Clarify this, you're the money people?
For lack of a better term, yeah, we're the money people. So yes, we're the developers. We'll run through the entitlements or the planning, the theming of the project, the layouts, the types of homes. We really get involved with the controlling of the architecture that goes in the homes. A lot of developers, that's kind of a second or afterthought. We don't believe in that. There's a perfect example. We have a project in Tacona, and the architecture, we spent more time on the design of the architecture than we did on pretty much anything, because a lot of developers will go in, they'll put a nice monument, nice trees here or there, maybe a playground or two, and then the homes are just cookie cutter and basic, and there's no pop to the neighborhood. So for us, it devalues our project, and then also it has a devalue, I don't want to say devalue, but it doesn't enhance the area. And we like to be called, we want to be the high-end developer. That's what we want our name to be synonymous with. So, for lack, again, of better, you Ritz-Carlton, right? Really super nice hotel. We want to be associated with that level of development. When you go to the Ritz-Carlton, you don't have, well, I saw your hand, sir. I'll get to you in a second. I don't want your hand to go tired for you. I'll get to you. But just to let you know, that's who we are. And we really believe in that. And the homes, the design, the layout, everything is really well thought out. And because of that, we actually don't bring in a lot of average home builders. There's only really the top tier home builders that we're working with. And specifically for this project, there's only 3 or 4 home builders we've talked to. So you're not going to see a D.R. Horton, you're not going to see, Lennar, Century. You're going to see high-end homes, and at least I shouldn't say high-end value, but high-end architecture. And Al will get into a little bit more of the details on the types of homes we're looking to bring in. Sir, your question.
Before I see all the pretty pictures and hear this presentation,
Sure thing.
Where's water going to come from? And I ain't seen you guys build any schools out here. I ain't seen you guys take care of any roads out here. All I hear you guys saying is money, 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 money.
Sure, that's an average developer. If I was in your.
Where's the sewer going? Where's the water going? My well, I just redid my well, my friend, and when my well goes dry, I'm sure your developer ain't gonna be knocking on my door saying, let me pay for that water well.
Yes.
No, you're 100% right. A lot of developers are gonna come in and they're gonna look after themselves. That's that's developer mentality.
So where's the water
Where's the
pipeline
water
coming in
coming from?
here?
So these are great questions, and right now we've done some preliminary studies that there's enough water. We have 2 wells on our site.
Don't care about those wells, I'm caring about my water. You
I
guys are
understand.
gonna put so
Your
many
neighbors
houses
are
out
losing
here.
their water.
If you're gonna
No
suck
water.
that.
We've already had to
Care
rebuild
about
a
our
bunch of our
water.
wells after Independence started.
Yeah, and these are great questions, and this is information, that's why we're here, because we don't know all of this, right? We're coming into this project,
Look
we're
at the
very,
Gilbert County site. They tell you the aquifers are going down about a foot a year.
ma'am,
There's not gonna be any water left in 50 years.
again, this is good information, and I understand your frustration, because if it was my house and I didn't have water, yeah, that's a big deal, right?
Are you gonna give us
Yeah.
and pay for our water?
Ma'am, these are all things that we wanna solve, but again, we don't know the depth of the problems, and we can hear it from the county, we can hear it from our engineers, we can hear it from all these people.
Kelly won't tell you the truth.
Kelly will
Right,
tell you.
but that's why we wanna talk to you
This is
guys,
from the county
The
side.
only,
and they won't
the only
tell you.
fresh water here is in the northwest corner of this county.
okay?
And that's because the city of Aurora plumbed that in for that subdivision going up in there.
Gotcha, oh yeah, I know what you're talking
All
about,
right,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
only fresh water we have coming into this county, that's it. Unless you go to the root eye over here, and I don't know if they're gonna be willing to sell you anything out of Parker.
Yeah.
But if you gotta have a self-sustaining business, we don't have the county that has the infrastructure to do this. Let me
We
tell you
don't
that
have
much.
one. We don't have
Again, you know, folks, this is why we're here, because we can hear all this information, but you guys are the boots on the ground. And I told you at the beginning of this, if we can't find a way that's gonna make it comfortable for you, then we don't see any sense in moving forward with the project at
You
all.
better tell the guy that owns the property, because there isn't any water for him to play with.
That's their, I can't, you know, that's their business decisions, guys. But like I said, I'm true to my word, and our company is true to our word. We're not here to just throw a development in and just move on. That's not what we're here to do. If the folks around us if it doesn't make sense, I can't tell you that enough, we don't pursue it.
No, but you already mentioned the fact of wells, man, and I've seen those wells, I've worked on those wells, those aren't just your normal well, my friend.
Sir, I have not gone deep enough into this, because the main thing for us
Those are big
is to get
wells.
your feedback
High
tonight.
volume.
Okay.
And that's really what we're here for, but this is great information, because we're gonna take it back to the office and we're gonna digest it.
I'm
They're
a
in,
hundred dollars.
they're in the upper?
Yes,
Those
ma'am.
wells are in the upper?
Ma'am, go ahead.
Question, so you said that you guys, if there's no positive feedback, that you won't pursue this. However, you said Walton would look into pursuing it at some point. So it's
Yeah.
not an if, but a when.
For Walton. I'm not in the Walton's rooms, so I can't, I don't know what they're saying behind the scenes, but they're a developer.
What changed from the last meeting we had, the community meeting?
I wasn't part of that, so I'm sorry, I
So they
don't.
got rid of that and now they got new.
Well, yeah, there was probably a previous buyer.
No, it was Walton.
Oh, was it Walton?
Yeah, they were in
Okay.
the room.
Oh, were they?
There's
Okay.
4 of them in the room.
Oh, okay, yeah, like I said, I wasn't there.
I don't
We-
have a swimming pool,
What's that?
I don't have a swimming pool, I guarantee they have a swimming pool over there,
Where?
over there at that subdivision, right?
Oh, Independence?
Independence, yeah.
I'm
In the
sure they
last
do.
meeting, they had told us, Walton had stated, not anybody that we were
Yeah.
there, but Walton had stated, they already made the deal with Serenity, Walton had already made the deal with Independence
Yeah.
to swap their water rights for Independence water.
Oh, yeah,
That was already done.
interesting.
Yeah, they said that was already done.
I haven't seen any agreements to that,
You might wanna
and,
look into all this more.
we will, and we've done some high-level due diligence again this is,
Not that high level. You don't know about the water, you don't know nothing.
well, here's the point, I could talk about the water, but you guys know more about it. And if I say anything about it that's potentially wrong, let's be honest, you're gonna crucify me for it.
Sure.
So I don't wanna speak out of turn without having a true understanding of it, and which we will. And this isn't gonna be the last time, in my opinion, that we wanna talk to you folks. This isn't a one and done. We're gonna come back to you, we're gonna give you updates as we go through the process, because we feel as if, again, we wanna be partners in the community. This isn't just, lip service cliche stuff.
So I wanna point something out.
Yeah?
When you have a typical high school, there's 3,000 students in that high school. And the feeder program to go to that high school is you have a set of junior high schools that are set up under them that maintain another 3,000 set of heads going in. Then you have elementary schools, so that 4 goes down to 8. Who's paying for all of that?
Well, I think, I don't wanna jump the gun here. When you see what we're presenting, that'll solve that problem for you. I promise you that. I promise you, not, I promise, okay?
Why don't we let them do the presentation and see what they wanna say?
Yeah. All right, that was a good shot out of the cannon, good first round of questions. Turn it over to Al, take this jacket off, take a breath, stretch it out, and go from there.
You might want to take your jacket off though, because you are gonna be
Folks,
sweating.
I live just down the road, and I live in an area that's similar to this, so you guys are my neighbors, just in a different part of town.
Just a suggestion.
So
All right, let's get this rolling.
lies are harder to maintain than the truth, and that's what my grandpa always said. So you're gonna get the straight truth, whether you like it or not. That's what we're gonna figure out. So Al, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. As mentioned, I'm Al Cunningham with PCS Group, helping Lee. A couple other things to add on. Jennifer Jones from the county is here. I think some of you know her, mostly here to observe, but could also help answer any process-related questions if any of those come up. Civil engineering being done by Atwell, they're not here tonight.
Let's just get into the.
Can you
Okay.
talk up a little bit?
Sure. You're all familiar with the site, that's why you're here, so we don't need to spend too much time on the context of the property. So, one of the things in looking at this, that we did a little bit of background work on just some demographics. In Elbert County, 2 takeaways from what we were able to find was the median age is just under 45, which is a little bit, about 20% higher than Colorado and the US. And then that 43% of the population is 50 and above. And so with where we're going, or with the concept we have, is still homes on the property, but we would want to take it in sort of an active adult, age-targeted kind of community. So a little bit different, thinking being that lots of people have lived in the county their whole life for a long time. With an aging population, there may be some that want to downsize, maybe no longer want to have some of the maintenance obligations with 5-10 acre lots, that sort of thing. And so this would provide an opportunity for a community that was aimed at that style of living.
So just real quick, this isn't gonna be, this is all 55 and older is what we're presenting. There'll be no kids. It's all active adult, so it solves the school problem. No kidding.
Still, the kids need schools. You guys are part of our tax base. There's no free ride here. my
Okay,
friend.
but there's no school, there's no children we're adding. Now, we can talk to the,
Can't move in there?
that's what we're presenting, yes. The reason why, and we can handle the conversation, is maybe there's some sort of impact fees, and that's something we'll talk to the county about. But the key points I wanna hit on real quick on this is 55 and older is a community that a lot of people in Elbert County, trust me, my parents are older, they had property. And speaking personally, eventually they couldn't maintain it. But they still wanted to stay where they lived, and they didn't have any options, so they had to move out. So what we're presenting here is a potential option for people who want to stay in Elbert County, which is a great county. I love a lot of things about Elbert County.
Even though we're not in it right now.
Right, exactly. But it gives everybody that option. The other thing that we want to talk about just briefly is the impact on traffic. We've done a lot of research on this. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to improve the infrastructure in some areas, but the traffic count is much, much lower on a daily basis. Main reason is this community is very self-sustaining. We're gonna have a lot of the open space and trails for people that are living there. They have all of that there. There's a clubhouse, so they can entertain with their friends.
Potentially.
Splash pads. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But my point is, there's gonna be, it's built for people who, they have their neighbors. It's a little bit harder to get around because that's life, right? And this is a place where they can come gather. And this is why we think it's a little bit of a different approach than any other community that's in Elbert County. And this, honestly, one thing is, this is the only neighborhood that's active, that would be active in the state of Colorado, that is a true active adult 55. You have some pods that are attached to some other communities, but let's be honest, they're still regular communities.
I'm gonna point something out, my friend. I live on that corner of Singing Hills and Delbert Road, the top, highest point right there.
Sure,
I have $1 million property that I've invested money in, man, lots of money,
sure.
okay? All that light pollution and bullshit that I'm fixing to see from that project is gonna kill my view. Every time I get up in the middle of the night and look at that light, I'm gonna think about you two gentlemen here giving this speech about how happy I'm gonna be.
I didn't say you're gonna be happy, let's be honest, I didn't say that.
Well, you know, it's trying to live with independence over there, man, and then the little light pollution that we're getting now from the little bitty road that got put in there to connect them together. All that's happening now is I got heavy trucks going up and down that demographic, you said ain't much. That's where my office is, so I get to see all of that all day long, man.
Well, I told you I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm going to be. If it's, she made a great point, if it's not if, it's when.
Yep.
This site right here, it's got 500 lots on it. I can tell you right now that your average developer, we could throw 850 lots on this and we could try to push that. We could, now, just let me finish. My point is, you're gonna have something here ultimately. You guys have a choice with us as a potential. Is this a lower impact that you're gonna get down the road? And as a developer, every other developer I work with, they're gonna try to slam 850 lots in here.
I'll give you a concept, why don't you sell 10-acre lots, up your price, and that's just the way it is. If you wanna live out here and get a ranchette, that's just the way it is, my friend.
And I told you I'd be honest with you again, we ran numbers on it. We're here to make money too, and it just doesn't work.
Well, then, move on.
Back down.
Like I
Okay,
said.
like we can move on.
Let's go.
Okay,
Back down.
If
Go
it
ahead.
moves on, then you get another independence right there.
Back down.
Now, just last.
We don't have the structure to do that. They don't have a running sewer line, they don't have a running pipeline.
Now, hang on just a second, because the last development we looked at from them,
Right.
the difference,
500 homes.
the difference was 660 homes.
Right.
And all up on these property lines, there was homes,
Yep.
and of the 660, and I'm right here, that's me
Oh,
and
yeah.
me, those are two lots.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Of the 660, they were all on the property lines, and then here, right in here, they had apartments. They had multifamily homes. I'm looking at this looks a lot much better to me. Because I see frontage here,
10 acres is not gonna make anybody any money.
and I see,
It's all about
I don't
the
see anybody
neighborhood,
trying to
so
connect here
it's all
or in
about
front of my
everything
place,
else.
right here.
No,
Hey,
sir.
Wayne. Can you tell us what that legend says real quick? We can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or-
The legend is
Yeah.
plus or minus
He's got a better voice
half
than I
acre
do.
lots.
Okay.
Half acre lots, 35, plus or minus quarter acre lots, 60, executive home lots, 259, I'm okay with that. Patio home lots, 146. Hopefully they're in here somewhere.
Yeah, they're in the center, and the patio homes are more lock and leave, is
I
kind
think we
of what
just
we
gotta
call it.
listen to it, and trust me, I don't want to
Okay,
develop.
let's go.
so, thanks for the segue.
Well, I just want to.
Back
The,
down.
It says this is PUD.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of commercial stuff are you planning on putting in there? Are you planning on putting shops in there?
No, ma'am.
Nothing like that?
No, ma'am.
I'll tell you, a lot of these people here went to the meetings with Kraft before independence went in.
Yeah.
We listened to the lies and the lies and the lies. So we don't really have a lot of faith in you right now.
You shouldn't. Why? Because I'm a developer next to my name. Like, let's be honest. It's, trust and developer is not it doesn't go hand in hand. But, again, I'm old school, and I'm referencing my grandfather again. He always told me you get one time to make a good first impression, right? If I come back and I come back with lies, that's gonna get me nowhere. And at the end of the day, just morally, I gotta put my head on the pillow at
We
night.
don't know their lies until the houses are built.
You're right, you
I drove
don't.
through Independence one day, I
How do
couldn't
you know
believe
those
it.
people don't wanna
I
live in
couldn't
Iowa,
believe what
or they
independence
don't wanna
was
live
like.
in Elizabeth over there by Walmart?
Okay, wait, this
I
is
wanna
choice
see the
one, we know what our other
I'd like to see
choices
the
are.
presentation.
Yeah, all right, let's,
Okay.
all right, so guys.
if we could, can we
we'll
hold
get-
questions?
Yeah, I'm
Because
sorry.
I don't have that many slides, they'll go
Yeah.
pretty quickly, and then
We're almost
then
done.
we'll open
And
it
we'll have
later.
plenty of time for you guys. We got plenty of time.
So, the theory was, I think, this gentleman did a great job of the legend, the thinking being that for people who might want to downsize in a community such as this, there are still 4 different lot sizes. Some people might want a little bit like bigger lot, half an acre, and they're okay with the maintenance. Other people might want something smaller that's lock and leave because they travel a lot, whatever the case might be. And as pointed out, you can see that there's substantial open space around the outside of the property.
I have a question. What kind of price point are you putting?
Can we hold the questions till the
Yeah,
end,
I
please?
promise, ma'am, we'll, if you might wanna write it down or something, we'll get to all your questions, I promise you that.
So a little more on just what an active adult community is. Very important is the amenities that are included within the community, both interior and exterior. And also typically, the vast majority of the homes are single-story ranch homes. They may have basements for, you know, when kids come to visit and other things, but they're well-designed homes for main level living as people, you know, don't want to deal with stairs anymore, so.
They're all ranches, by the
Yeah.
way, so
Thank you.
that would help with views. Okay, you don't have as much obstruction, still obstruction.
So you worked with Del Webb before, right?
We actually are in talks with Del Webb on this potential property.
Can't complain about it.
So in that, that's a very important component of the community design. One other thing that I see the slide coming up, should have had this right at the start for you, they got out of order, but just wanted to show you that, and it sounds like you're all pretty familiar that this community meetings, it's very early in the process, kind of what Lee was alluding to. We're not trying to dodge some of your questions, we just won't have the answers to some of them, because that detail comes as we get further down the road. This is an initial concept for what we think. So you can see that, you know, next step would be to move and have a concept brief with the commissioners that's also informative, and all of that's happening before an application's even made to the county. So still early in the process and plenty of time for collaboration. A couple of just bird's eye perspectives of that plan you saw, that there's, you know, the substantial open space and buffers you could see around the outside, and then also large open space in the center of the property. And that's largely driven by where the drainage patterns are on the property that are interior that you can see there. Just another one from the other direction. Difference being in this one, you can see a proposed community clubhouse amenity area for a lot of those different amenities that would be included.
Is that a lake we're looking at? I do see a lake.
Yeah, it would be like where we capture all the rainwater.
Just
Yeah.
Is this north and south?
Oh, yes, ma'am, north and south.
That was,
Okay.
that's sort of southwest corner looking northeast.
Alex, can you tell us what those green things are?
Here?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, those were just labels on sort of setback dimensions, so.
Distances.
Distances, this one on the side closest to Independence is currently around 200 feet. 400 feet, 400 feet. It doesn't look like it because of the perspective, but it is. And then over here, it ranges obviously, and it's really wide up at the northern part, so.
So over a football field.
That one's just sort of highlighting the green space, the open space, and then also the trails that would come with it as an active adult community. You know, years ago, active adult communities had golf courses in them, not anymore. This is Colorado, open space trails, provide a great active amenity. And with this layout, one of the other things is all of these lots back to open space. So they have access to that open space and trail system. And so, you know, as it got refined, there would just be connectivity throughout the neighborhood. So you'd have looping trails of different distances. If someone wanted to go on a run or a stroll after dinner, you'd be able to accommodate that on the trails. Come on. So I had mentioned the trails and open space, don't have to spend much time on that. It's a really important component of an active adult community. Very early on, this was just to say it would have an amenity center that would have both indoor and outdoor activities and things with it, whether those be sport courts, tennis courts, pickleball, bocce, those sorts of things. Potentially an outdoor swimming pool.
Yeah, it's showing to me.
That one is.
Yeah.
And then with these types of facilities in these communities, you know, there's typically a lot of interior amenities too. And as we move down the road, we would really figure out what current trends are, but sometimes they'll have fitness, certainly, you know, exercise rooms, things for yoga. Sometimes they'll have demonstration kitchens, art studios, just gathering spaces Sometimes they have salons in them. I mean, there's a whole range of amenities that are included within them, and we're not there yet. That would kind of come down the road with what made the most sense for this area, this site. But there is a very important part of the concept for these types of communities. And then just a couple of, since we had done that other model with the views, just a couple other perspectives of seeing how some of that open space works with ranch homes and the trails that are within it, kind of through the center of the community where the drainage and other things are.
Every home backs up to the school.
The way that one is laid out right now, yes. I mean, some of them are smaller tracks, but for the most part, you'd be able to access the trail system and such from it. So with that, a few slides, quick presentation. Now we can.
No more questions, right?
We-
We're gonna add everybody for see you later? No. We don't know yet. So that's something we'd like to hear from you guys, if that's something you'd prefer.
You're gonna have to widen Singing Hills Road, you know, with all these new houses.
Most likely, yes. Yeah, and we would be totally open to that.
Traffic now from that golf
Well,
course.
Singing Hills is turning into a construction zone anyway.
All right, I'm gonna go with this gentleman. I'm gonna go next to you. Just orders, and then we'll start moving over this way. He hasn't had a question yet.
So, I'm one of like 8 people or so from a community that's directly across, from you guys there. Do you mind if I come up?
To the south?
No.
Oh, yeah, come on up, yeah.
So, there's our access road is here, but
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
community back here,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
several homes back here.
Mhm.
So one of our concerns is with your current planned exit here on Singing Hills, being, not directly across from ours, we're gonna have trouble getting out onto Singing Hills.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of traffic, you know, coming out of here, and, we already have trouble getting out into Singing Hills now. One of the things, I'm assuming nothing got passed on to you from the previous community meeting?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No.
So one of the things we had asked there is if, this entrance could be aligned with the entrance to our community so that, you know,
Needs a
it makes it easier for us to get in and
Yeah,
out.
I think that it has a bunch of potential great opportunities to fix that problem. We definitely want to talk to the county to understand what those solutions might be, but I agree. We like to have everything line up with each other, that just makes sense. It even might warrant a traffic signal. I mean, we don't know those. No, I'm not saying you do, roundabouts, I get it, keep the traffic moving, but, again, we're gonna take a look at the options, and obviously you'll be informed of that.
Well, roundabouts are a no-go, cause I come from a long line of semi-truck drivers, and you're gonna have a lot of truck
I
drivers.
hate roundabouts, but
blasting
some
right
people
through
love them.
that. My husband drives a lowboy, and
Yeah.
there's no way he can fit a lowboy through there.
Well, again, we'll have to figure all that out. This gentleman next, I'm gonna swing over to this side of the route, right
Go
after that.
back to your schedule on that other slide where it shows the different stages.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, it all goes according to your plan, winter shovels going in the ground.
So, most developers are going to tell you that they're gonna try to get to that point as quick as possible. I don't think that's the right course of action for this project, to be perfectly honest with you. We had, again, referencing our other one in Dacono, we were planning, meeting for over a year before we even thought about submitting something, because we understood the sensitivity, and you're not gonna get it right the first time, you know, with your initial design. You need the feedback from the community to understand, because again, we have an idea what works here, but we don't live here, so we need the feedback. And we would like to take our time with this process, so that if it does come to the point where we're ready to submit, there's a comfort level. So I would say we're probably 9 to 12 months away from actually submitting this document, which is the rezoning or PUD.
Okay, that's why we're gonna fight you.
Yeah, you're gonna. We'll bring our gloves. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna fight you. That's the thing. We're gonna listen to you, and we're gonna see if it works. Go ahead, sir. And then ma'am, you're next.
Okay, so based on the fact that you said to us that we were boots on the ground for you,
Yes, sir.
this is inevitable, okay? This is gonna happen to us, and it's gonna happen. I agree with you, Lumpy, is that this is a lot less impact to our neighborhood than what we thought it was
This
gonna
is
be.
the first time I've seen that map.
Correct, me
Because the
too.
map I'm looking at right there
I got it, right here.
is this map with 800, it's 660
Right.
with room for expansion with an apartment complex.
So what I would like to say is that because of the fact where your boots on the ground, is right there you have community meeting, in segment 2.
Yeah.
We should be part more in those community meetings to help you to develop in the right way to where we can achieve what you're, no offense, selling us right now.
Yeah,
Because
you're selling
we've been
something,
sold
yeah,
a lot of
let's be
other
honest.
things,
Yeah.
but we want to trust you. Now, to trust you,
Yeah.
you get us more involved. Once you go through zoning, that's when everything changes. That's when they say, no, we gotta straighten the streets up. No, we gotta have a light. No, we don't need a light. We just
Yeah.
move the school zone out. We do things like that. We need to have those meetings interjected in there.
So our plan, this is our plan, is
Okay.
we don't need to have anything in between here and here with the folks, with you folks. We plan on having additional community meetings with you.
We'd be glad to help.
And we want to get the feedback. There's always the danger of too many hands in the cookie jar, right? But I think we can get a general pulse of things that are like the top 5, 6, 7 important things that we can incorporate into it. But again, you guys aren't going to be left in the cold here. And trust isn't built just off of today, right? We got to show it. Talk is cheap, right? That's the old adage. But actions speak louder than words. So once we get through these things, we're gonna go back to the factory. We're gonna take all of your comments, we're gonna start incorporating it into the plan, and we're gonna come back to you. And then we're gonna say, all right, here's kind of what we interpreted from today's meeting and from the Board of County Commissioners. Did we get it right? Is there things that we're missing? Yes, there probably is going to be. So let's talk through it, let's figure it out. But again, trust isn't built just today. And like I said, I'm old school, and I want you guys to feel comfortable calling me, and whatever I tell you, there's a belief there, and we don't get there tonight, okay? This ma'am, is your lady in the red vest or
Thank
jacket.
you.
Yeah.
First I want to say, I will say this is something that, Elbert County I've been to a million meetings, and this is something that's very unique, and I do think there is, an option for a senior living, for a lot of us that, again, I have 10 acres, and there may be a time that I'm like, and I love Elbert County, this is like my home, I've been here over 30 years.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about it, and I love that there's a lot of open space. Again, this isn't gonna impact me personally, other than the traffic and the other people at my Walmart, my Safeway, but,
Yeah, sure.
I think, if something's gonna be developed, this checks a lot of boxes, I think. I do understand, and one thing that would upset me if I had to live remotely, close to this, would be the light pollution. And I'm sure
Yep.
there are things that we can do with downlights. I know there's gotta be something we can do to help the residents still
Yeah.
enjoy being able to go out and see the stars in the Milky Way in the summer.
And that's a really important, and I'm glad you brought that, and you brought that up too. I'm pretty lucky, I'm spoiled, I go in my backyard, I have a telescope. I'm a geek, sorry, I'm a nerd. And I see the stars and the moon every night, and I think it's it's just peaceful. That's what we wanna make sure we're allowing these residents to have too, because it's special. It's not, you have such a unique living lifestyle out here, and why come, so backstory, I was in Arizona for a while. People moved out to Arizona because they had allergies. But then they started bringing all these trees and flowers to Arizona, and now Arizona has one of the worst allergy populations because they brought all this stuff to them. And you're just like, well, you moved out here for what right, yeah, and you moved out here to not have that. So to me, it's the same concept. Why would we want to bring in all this heavy impact, heavy lights, heavy traffic? Because that's not what Elbert County is.
I want to tell you what my thing is.
I do have another question though.
This gentleman over, oh, sorry.
It was a two-parter.
Oh, sorry.
My
I'll get to
last-
you and then this,
And I promise it's very quick. Will this be a metro district?
We haven't determined that yet. Metro districts, it's something we're gonna have to talk to the county. We see if it's something that is receptive or not. Metro districts are nice, especially for a community that this is gonna require a ton of maintenance. And the metro districts also, they hire like event planners for the most part for the community center, and that's actually, it's a full-time job, having that, so.
I don't think you understand the concept of a metro district in Colorado.
I do.
It's a whole big different thing, and it is, like, the
Yeah.
developers
Yeah.
just make so much money off of it, that you never get rid of it.
Right.
That's not,
There's a metro district that's just for the community, but then there's a metro district that just
Yeah.
pays you guys forever.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. That's not how the structure of Metro District works.
Wait,
At least they are
wait,
here.
no,
That's how
I'm
it
gonna,
works.
I'm gonna step up and say something right now.
Sure.
There are several of us that are representing unincorporated Douglas County.
Okay.
We are less than a mile away from the Elbert County line.
Sure.
Right off of Singing Hills. By law, we are in that 2-mile perimeter,
Okay.
and we should have received information of this meeting tonight. None of us did. Not one of us.
We live on
We found out about it, and we are here, and we are concerned about water, we are concerned about everything that our neighbors are talking about.
Sure.
I'm open, and we are open to listening about this, but our property has been ignored and
I'm with her.
Sure.
completely disintegrated by our
Okay.
constituents and by people. We have been ignored, and we are here to say bullshit. And y'all can give us a great opportunity. This is looking a lot better than what we've heard from our neighbors that has been presented before. Yet,
No, that makes sense.
yet,
I thought it was a quarter mile.
it's 2-mile radius. No, it's a 2-mile radius
Quarter mile.
required. Well, but we are here, and we are just here between Douglas County and Elbert County. We are within what they're showing up here. And we aren't being represented, and what I'm saying is, y'all are not talking about the rest of I hear what my friends and my constituents and my neighbors are saying about we all have the same things. We weren't even given that opportunity to come and see this. We're only here because other neighbors told us about it.
Well, let me just.
This is looking great, but y'all need to talk about that.
Well, if it is 2 miles, we were informed it's something different, but we're not perfect. So if we messed that up, we apologize. But you're here now. We're gonna get your information. Obviously, this is not the last meeting, so we're gonna want you guys to be a part of that. And if that's something that you guys would like to do, obviously we want to.
I just have a general question.
I'm gonna move back over to this side. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, just because they were waiting. So the gentleman with the hat.
I'm a civil engineer, and I'm worried about 4 things.
Okay, we love the technical side.
Roads, Singing Hills is a small country road.
Yeah.
By Elbert County standards.
Sure.
So there's no way, it's at capacity now. for all
Yeah.
practical purposes. Secondly, is schools, you've kind of addressed that, but just understand there is no capacity in the school district.
Yeah.
Third is police. I think our county sheriffs are spread thin enough now.
Yeah.
I'm worried about more homes for them to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And last is fire. Same situation, they barely can keep up with stuff now, and they don't have the water.
Well, the good part is the fire department's right across the
Yeah,
street.
yeah, that's true.
All 3 of them.
Well,
If they get called out somewhere, you're toast here. So those are things that need to be addressed, especially
All the time.
Singing Hills and your intersection with it, because a simple stop sign ain't gonna cut it.
no, you're right. And let's be honest, developer, we want a nice road in front of our project. Why? Because it helps with marketing. So we'll probably address that, most likely. Fire and police, I don't think we want to develop an unsafe neighborhood. So that's 100% need to be addressed. And I'm sorry, what was the 4th one? Schools. Oh, schools, and we touched on that.
And just to add to that, fire and police, everybody talks about, well, that's covered because the impact fees will provide.
Well,
My concern is
there's response
the
time.
sequence gap. Is
Yeah,
by the
there's a
time you
response
collect
time.
enough
Yeah,
to
all that
build a
needs to be
facility,
considered. Yeah.
You already have a demand.
Yeah, I was dealing with a project down in Texas last month, and that was one of the key components we had to work through with the the fire chief, because there was a specific response time, and we worked through that, and obviously if that's something here, these are things we're gonna definitely address. And there's a million things that can kill a project from now to the end. I mean, it could be fire, right? You have to build a fire station and it just doesn't work economically, so terminates the project. So there's a million things that are that we're gonna have to navigate down the road, and all of those are key points. This young lady right here in the green.
I was trying to get her attention, but from what he was saying too, it's like, okay, if we look at the 55 plus, how much more crime we're gonna have? Okay, we got these other people that are marketing to first time homeowners, they're bringing crap. Now we have a problem with theft and everything else, we don't want that.
My
Yeah.
parents are reckless, they're in their 70s now, you gotta
I
watch out.
know, so they'll take their golf
They're
cart.
speeding at a 35 and a 30. I'm like,
Not so
whoa,
bad.
watch out, mom and dad.
Yeah, that's
Kill
like
'em.
domestic violence at that age.
They're gonna break the hip before they do anything, so yeah. I'm more worried about my dad falling down the stairs. That's the response time I'm worried about. Okay, where did we, yeah, the gentleman in the very back, we'll move our way forward, ma'am, you, and then you, and then you, is that okay? Yeah, but we'll get you.
Exit, there's no other entrance or exit out of that?
No, there will be, we've worked with Tim, that there's a secondary access through his, so we're trying to draw most of the traffic south, so that it doesn't have an impact to all the folks living to the north. And one thing that we're really conscientious of with this road is to lights, right, coming here. What we wanna do is heavily landscape this with a lot of trees and shrubs, so those light beams aren't casting in the backyard.